I'm running out of intros. Round silver things. Ahoy everybody, and welcome to another in my collection of my DVD video things. Ahoy everybody, and welcome to the next in my DVD collection videos. Previous parts available on the playlist. Not going to do any bumps, let's go straight on. First up, this is Annika. I picked this up cheap in one of Network's sales and I really enjoyed this. It's sort of a coming of age story. Jesse Birdsall is working on the Isle of Wight. He's meant to be 18, is he? Yeah. And he falls in love with a Swedish exchange student who's over there for the summer. And they get together and he goes back to Sweden and it's really good. Yeah, really enjoyed that. This is Alexander, Oliver Stone's film. I'm a big Oliver Stone fan. It's not his greatest work, but it's one I've very much enjoyed. My best friend is an extra in one of the scenes, but I've never spotted her. Great cast: Colin Farrell, Angelina Jolie, Val Kilmer, Anthony Hopkins, Rosario Dawson, Jared Leto. That's the bloke whose name I was struggling with. This is, what version's on here? This is the original cinema version. Yes. And they've split it over two. How long is it? It's less. It's 2 hours 48 minutes, but for some reason they split it over 2 discs. When JFK is 3 hours and, well, the normal version's 3 hours and a minute, and the extended version's 3 hours 17 minutes, and that's only ever on one disc. So I don't know why they did that. Loads of extras on here as well. But yeah, that's Alexander. This is Fair Game. Saw this in the cinema when I was at university. This was Cindy Crawford's attempt to get into acting. She didn't do bad, but the film isn't great. It's sort of a Lethal Weapon meets Basic... No, not Basic. It's sort of a sexy Lethal Weapon, if you like. Ish. I know what I mean. Basically, William Baldwin has to protect Cindy Crawford's character, who's a lawyer who's targeted by KGB, and they're on the run, and it's that sort of film. And there's a couple of random bits of Cindy getting her boobs out just because they have to get people in. Let's face it, it's the reason I went to the cinema to see it. We went en masse, all the lads in my flat. Yeah, it's not great. It's alright, but it's not great. This I really like. This is Femme Fatale. This is a Brian De Palma film, and I love Brian De Palma. It stars Rebecca Romijn Stamos, or Rebecca Romijn as she is now since her divorce, who gets involved in a heist to steal some jewels, but then she loses her mind and it's all very twisty-turny, but brilliant performance by her. Antonio Banderas is in it as well. Yeah, it's one of those films you need to see, but it is really, really, really good, and that's Femme Fatale. Ooh, Avalanche. Hold on. Otherwise I'll lose track. Right, okay. This is Blade 2. I like the Blade films. I don't love them, but I like them enough to buy them. I think the third one was probably the best, which is in here somewhere in my collection. But they're all okay, and this is the second one. This is the 51st State, which is okay. Samuel L. Jackson and Robert Carlyle, which is an interesting combination. Samuel L. Jackson going around Liverpool being Samuel L. Jackson. But yeah, again, it's okay. It's not great. It's sort of another film trying to cash in on the sort of both trying to cash in on Pulp Fiction and Trainspotting, really, I suppose, and Lock, Stock, and that sort of style of film. Yeah, I'd say it's all right. This sadly wasn't very good. This is Gladiatress. So this was the team behind Smack the Pony, doing a sort of Gladiator spoof, but with women. And I wanted to like it so much because I like all the people in it. But, I mean, I barely remember it. It was that bad. I can't, nothing springs to mind as to something that made me laugh. I'm sure there was moments, but don't get it. This is Comic Book the Movie. This is a film Mark Hamill directed, basically about voice artists. It's a sort of a mockumentary, but it's got lots of, Kevin Smith's in it, which is my main reason for getting it. But Stan Lee, Hugh Hefner, Bruce Campbell, and of course Mark Hamill are in it. But it's got lots of extras as well on it. It's quite enjoyable. A lot of people I didn't know. I'm not that heavily into comics and cartoons, but it was enjoyable enough anyway. This is Zeta 1. This is one of those so bad it's good films. This is from the early 70s or late 60s. 69. That's why I was confused. It's a sci-fi, sexy British film that's where the sci-fi isn't that good and the sexiness isn't overly sexy, but it's alright. So we've got Uta Stensgaard is in it, and Valerie Leon, and Carol Hawkins, sort of the famous-ish women who are in it, and then James Robertson Justice and Charles Hawtrey are in it. And as I say, it's bad, but it's quite enjoyable for its badness. This is Mad Cows. This is... I was on an Anna Friel kick, and this is one of the films I picked up at that time. It's a comedy. She's an Australian single mother, and she's trying to find a baby's father, and hilarity ensues. Things go wrong, and yeah, it's quite an enjoyable film. And a decent cast. This is Rent a Dick, another one I picked up quite cheap from Network. Credited as written by John Cleese and Graham Chapman, and they do cameo in it, but it was largely rewritten by John Fortune and John Wales. It's hard to explain. A rich scientist has problems. Not only is his luscious wife being wooed by all and sundry, but his lab is under threat of sabotage to steal his secret nerve gas formula. So he calls upon Rent-A-Dick, abandoned private detectives, give him a job of protecting both his business and his wife. A catalogue of double dealings and indiscretions that follows is certainly not the service he expected. Doesn't really describe it, really. It's quite fun. Yeah, it's basically one of these I was going to say, yeah, it is 70, 72. It's trying to be one of those 76 comedies, but it's a bit too much on the comedy side, if you see what I mean. If you don't, I do. I know what I mean. This is another one of my Anna Friel kick. This is Watermelon, which was an ITV series about... it's a long time since I watched it now. It's about... she's seeing two different people and she falls pregnant and who's the father, etc, etc. But it was good. I love this film. This is You Instead. It was called something else in America that I can't remember, but I'll put it on the screen in case anybody from overseas is watching. This is a film. It was set at Tea in the Park, the festival in Scotland, and Luke Treadaway is the lead singer of a rock band. Natalia Tena, who you may know I'm a big fan of, is lead singer of another rock band. They hate each other. They keep arguing, so their friends handcuff them together, and they've got to last the whole festival handcuffed together. Obviously, they fall in love, etc. That's not spoiling anything. That's obviously going to happen. But then their surrounding fellow band members, and his girlfriend are there, and all sorts. And it's really good film. As I say, I'm a big fan of Natalia anyway. Ruta Gedman-Tass is also in it, and she played Luke Treadaway's girlfriend in that, and they now have a baby together in real life. Sophie Wu's in it as well, and Matthew Bainton. But yeah, highly recommend that. This is Death in Love. It's a funny little film, this. I'm just trying to remind myself, because it's two brothers whose mother was a Holocaust survivor, played by Jacqueline Bisset, and they both try and get out of the burden of having a survivor as their mother in different ways. One's sort of a womanizer, and the other's a recluse, but things always keep going wrong, and it's hard to explain, but it was quite good. So Jacqueline Bisset, Lucas Haas, Adam Brody, Morena Baccarin's in it as well. Yeah, it's a strange film, but it's quite good. This is The Boost, starring James Wood and Sean Young. Quite a notorious film because they had major fallings out. I like Sean Young. That's my main reason I got this. He is a real estate agent who gets addicted to cocaine. Well, a pair of them end up addicted to cocaine. And it's sort of a story of how they're in LA, and it's sort of a story of how they feed their addiction. And then everything goes wrong and blah-de-blah-de-blah. But yeah, it's got a good film. And finally for this part, The Sheltering Sky. Can't remember if this was one I picked up for £1 or not. Can't remember. Bernardo Bertolucci film. One I saw on VHS a long time before I bought it. John Malkovich, Deborah Winger, Campbell Scott, Timothy Spall. She is a journalist or a writer. And her husband, John Malkovich, go travelling through the Sahara, and things happen, basically. It's sort of one of those films that's a lot more style than substance, but it's enjoyable for it. That's it for this part. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Thanks. Bye.